If you have 4-star QB Adam Schobel on your commit wish list bingo card, congrats, you are a winner. But now it's time for some other guys on the other side of the ball to become winners as well. It's time to commit and come home, fellas.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things Cowboy and Cowgirl related. My name is Cody Stovall. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by to make this your first listen. We're available on all of your podcasting platforms, visually as well on YouTube. Find me personally on X at AllDayOState. Today, we're partially brought to you by Monopoly Go. The same game that we all grew up loving as a kid is the game that you can get in on today. With Monopoly Go, the fast-paced game lets you team up with friends for tournaments and unlock awesome prizes, unique stickers for trading, and cool playing pieces. Download Monopoly Go today for free on Google Play or at the App Store. Meanwhile, we get to shift gears and start talking about some potential commitments, but not just some guys that maybe should come to Oklahoma State, right? There's some of those that have a lot of affection for, like Juan Million Aguilar. Perfect fit. Hopefully it's only a matter of time. Reggie McNeil would look perfect in a Cowboy jersey. Tatum Evans, one of the best 2026 linebacker prospects out there. Zayes Gentry shouldn't listen to the crap that Mizzou has, just like to the 260-pound Jordan Covington doesn't need to take any more visits. 4-star DE power forward from Weatherford, Oklahoma. CJ, step away from the dark side and find your way into the light that is America's best and brightest orange. But y'all know how big of a get Adam Schobel was. So I might as well roll right into this conversation by talking about somebody who needs to become a Cowboy very soon, and that is John Schobel. I've already done a feature on John, so this is no massive surprise. In that feature, we broke down some of the film and some of the stats of the 6'4", 220-pound linebacker / tight end that will be making the full-time transition to defensive end. Meaning he's going to need to pack on some pounds. He's going to need to put on the weight. Let me introduce you to a guy who needs no introduction, and that is Rob Glass. Nobody in the country does what he can do, which is why he's the only $1 million strength coach in America. If you come to Oklahoma State, that transition from linebacker to defensive end will be so seamless that you can incorporate your skill sets into your game. We've done this already with Colin Oliver as an All-American freshman defensive end converted to linebacker who now has the opportunity to do 3-man and 4-man fronts. What you're going to be able to see this year out of Obi Ezegbo is going to give you a very good indication of what we can do with you. He's only 6'2", 235 pounds when he came to Stillwater. In a matter of months, he was up to 247 pounds. Right now, we're converting to Merrick Johnson from defensive end to kind of that stand-up linebacker style of role, and he's 6'3", 210. So if you want to see the emergence of some new dudes coming up through a new system, watch this season. Brian Nardo's already one of the best coaches in the game. This season will validate that and put him on that map. Plus, he's not a jump-off guy, right? He's not waiting on the next couple big seasons to find the next job. Most of your family would likely tell you that you could specifically be fast-tracked in your development at Oklahoma State without having to be concerned about all the distractions or the drama or the craziness that comes with a lot of universities. The constantly revolving door of players and coaches and commits, it doesn't need to be that way, and it doesn't happen at Oklahoma State. I mean, you're looking at the portal right now, or lack thereof. We're getting the guys we want, meanwhile not losing anybody. That's because people want to be a part of what we're doing. You should be no different. This is a family. You got family here now. It's time for you to join the family. The next young man is a linebacker, staying at linebacker because this 210-pound, 6'3" athlete is ranked the number 5 middle linebacker in America. Mason Posa from Albuquerque, New Mexico is not only the number 5 ranked inside linebacker in the country, that's already put together a ridiculous 2023 football campaign while racking up 133 tackles, 99 of those being solo, 9 sacks, 21 tackles for loss, 2 picks, 3 forced fumbles, 3 fumbles recovered, 3 defensive touchdowns, and a 70-yard kick return. after winning back-to-back 5A state titles in wrestling while moving up almost 4 weight classes in under 3 years. So, of course, stats lives matter, but so does film. You all know that this previous class was one of our biggest classes ever as far as size goes for linebackers. Gunnar Wilson, Tamarick Johnson, Jonathan Agumadu, all of those, I think, are going to eventually be starters in the next 2 to 3 years in the Big 12, in Stillwater. Gunnar is one of the most underrated guys I've possibly ever seen when watching film. Well, if that's the case, then Mason Posa is the exact opposite. He could be a candidate to start as a true freshman. Mason is the best linebacker film I've seen in a long time out of somebody that we know we can have a legitimate shot at. Now, you all know we've had some opportunities of some high 4-star guys that came through Stillwater that weren't ever really going to be a good fit. Just like we've had some 5-star guys come through and they asked some things or wanted some things that we don't offer or we just don't feel comfortable getting involved in. I don't get too caught up in those guys' film because if the likelihood of them fitting in Stillwater is very small, I don't mess with it. This kid is different. He fits literally everything that you need to be successful in Stillwater. Now, a lot of this is possible thanks to some of the staff, of course, and the NFL guys like your Malcolm Rodriguez or your Devin Harpers, your Amen and Bogmamigas, and then the recent All-American season that Nick Martin had, racking up 140 tackles. Mike Gundy literally almost invented looking for wrestlers before it was a thing. He was looking for wrestlers that were under-recruited 2 decades ago. Now you see what Mike Gundy can do with all of these wrestlers in the body by glass system. Imagine what he could do with a wrestler that isn't getting under-recruited. Imagine what he could do with a wrestler that isn't coming in with 2 years, 3 years worth of needs to get developed. Imagine that being you, because you might be the first linebacker I've seen, especially in this job, that could potentially be starting as soon as they get to campus. That level of skill. Another family member that needs to come home is Coleman Patman. The 6'3", 195-pound safety / cornerback is currently deliberating between teams like Minnesota and Arkansas, Texas Tech, and Oklahoma State. Stop deliberation. Your brother took a chance on Oklahoma State way before the transfer portal was ever even a thing. Matter of fact, it was a risky move back then. He went from a very, very good, solid player at KU to a star in Stillwater to then a multi-year starting NFL veteran. We asked him to buy into the culture, the system, the community that was completely foreign to him, and we made it work. He made it work. We definitely didn't overly complicate things for him. Tyler Patman is considered the original gangster when it comes to Oklahoma State transfers. And he started paving the way for every transfer since then. He created the confidence and the transfers to come to Oklahoma State. And he used what he was able to do in 1 year. 1 year. Tyler Patman left an indelible mark on all of Cowboy faithful in 1 year. Imagine if he would have had 4 seasons. Imagine 4 seasons of development under the GOAT and development of Rob Glass. Imagine 4 years of playing for championships, Big 12 titles, CFP playoff appearances, 4 years of stability, structure, and most importantly, family. You are already family. And there's not another team in the country that operates as a family. The locker room in Stillwater is different. The expectations now in Stillwater are different. The recruiting you're starting to see tick up because there's a realization that this is different. If you win Big 12 titles, you'll be in CFP playoffs. More opportunities, more film, more tape. This is the next destination for these gentlemen. And we've got several more, but for time, we're going to save some of those for a further episode. But these 3 dudes would not only be massive, but they would catapult Oklahoma State well above the top 20 in recruiting, possibly creeping up into the top 15 range. The defensive side needs some love. The offensive guys have been filling up the commitment board recently, very hot and heavy. Now we need some of the guys on the defensive side of the ball to kind of carry some of the weight. These are the dudes. You, gentlemen, should be the next in line for Stillwater America for a multitude of reasons. And just like you can win a multitude of things if your vehicle can arrive at all, whether it be on time or not. eBay Motors has you covered. You already know with 122 million parts to choose from, it'll keep your ride or die rig alive all the time. If you have the right passion, drive, and patience, that's the winning formula. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and keep it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lighting kits. You know the drill. Whether it's speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. And with the eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your rig every time or your cash money back. With eBay Motors, the objective here is to have you burning rubber, not cash. With all the prices you need, all the parts you want, it's easy to turn your rig into the MVP and bring home the W today. Keep your ride or die rig alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit is only available for U.S. customers. Do not miss out on eBay Motors today, ladies and gentlemen. Now we get to jump a little bit here to a different conversation. That conversation being some of the toughest places to play in the Big 12. Now, this could go one of two different ways, right? You could discuss the potential with or without the Big 12 new guys, right? As we like to affectionately call them, the new booties of the bunch. And realistically speaking, I'm not about all of these places, but our buddy, Classic Cowboy, put this out here. For everybody who doesn't know, the toughest place to play when it comes to atmosphere is going to be Boone Pickens Stadium. Now, I'm not just saying that because this is Oklahoma State show. I'm an Oklahoma State guy. If you research why playing in Boone Pickens Stadium is difficult, you'll see it's because we're literally right on top of you. Us in the fans, as the fans in the stands, can reach out and touch you. Therefore, for row after row after row, we can hear every word and we can have a lot of fun with your sideline. That goes for anybody in the opposing section of fans as well. We don't really mess with you. We let you do your own thing. But because of the way that the stadium is configured and the way that we are physically so on top of everybody, it makes it feel like you never catch any reprieve. You don't get an opportunity to catch your breath. If emotions get involved, we're gonna hound you so much that it does in fact affect your play of game. If we get up to a big lead, that seems to be disastrous for opposing people. And when you hear some of like Robert Griffin's talked about this several times. He didn't want to come to Stillwater. And when you did come to Stillwater, if Oklahoma State got a lead with just the way the stadium is, it was going to be next to impossible to come back. So when you look outside of Stillwater, Oklahoma, I'm not gonna talk about the new booty squads because I don't know anything about those squads. But after Boone Pickens Stadium, you've got a competition right there between Bill Snyder, K-State, and Jack Trice, Iowa State. Iowa State, if you're a road team, especially in November, you can almost chalk that up as a loss, right? It doesn't matter how good you are, what your record is, if you have Heisman candidates or not. If you go play in Ames, Iowa when it's cold, that's usually going to be an L. I don't wish that upon anybody. And then K-State. It's kind of ironic here. Then you have three of the most polite, kind fan bases in the country that also produce the most wild, wacky, and crazy environments. Now, if you want to go to not so friendly, but also wild, wacky, and crazy, that's going to be Texas Tech. The tortillas, the batteries, the whole thing. If it's a night game and Texas Tech is good, much like Iowa State doesn't have to be good, by the way. Okay? For them to beat you in November, it just happens. Sounds like a little bit of my Iowa State rage is coming out. Okay, that's fair. That's true. Texas Tech, if they're good and it's a night game, this is not a obstacle you'd wish upon anybody. West Virginia, kind of the same way. If they're good and it's a night game, that's an almost impossible task to take on. And West Virginia is good. So if you get them in the night game, you're going to have a rough go of it. UCF. I wanted to vote them way down on this list. But after watching them do to us what they did to us in the bounce house, after we'd won 6-7 games in a row, right? Just, got over a massive win in Bedlam to secure what is likely going to be a spot in the Big 12 title game. Yeah, we go to the bounce house and the weather gets crazy. And before you could blink, the game was pretty much over. It wasn't even halftime yet. So much like Stillwater America, if it gets rolling early and there's a big lead, it's going to be very difficult for anybody to come back from that. Nippert Stadium, heard a lot about it. Haven't had the opportunity to be in there or see it yet. But if you talk to some OU fans from last season, it's not an easy place to play. And it's actually, for being as old as it is, the upgrades have made it kind of an old school feel with a lot of the creature comforts that you look for in today's game. So, yeah, we got to put Nippert Stadium up there as well. A.M.G. Carter Stadium, TCU. They're very nice people, but it's not a super nice place to play if the environment is right. Arizona, haven't been there, don't know. Arizona State, haven't been there, don't know. Houston and Baylor, right? Playing at their stadium is like a big old pillow fight. Like, Houston wastes a lot of things. I don't know where their fan base comes from, but they don't show up for football. Same can be said for Baylor. Baylor can be number 3 in the country. Baylor can have several Heisman candidates, and they still won't sell out their stadium. So to any of the gentlemen that are considering, Houston or Baylor, I like Houston. I do think that Willie Fritz is going to eventually turn this thing around for them, but it ain't going to be real quick, fast, and in a hurry. All right, guys. So let me know when it comes to, I guess we could have included Lavelle Edwards. That's on my list. I cannot wait to go to the BYU game in Provo this upcoming football season. But for those of you Utah fans, BYU fans, Arizona State fans, let me know. Colorado, what do you guys think about the Big 12 stadiums and where you guys would fit into the rankings? Okay. Before we jump off into softball, because the ranking, I don't know. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but when you see the national rankings, it doesn't, right? But before we do that, we got to take another little sidebar here so I can explain to y'all out here. Monopoly Go. This game that we've been hyping up so much is the game that you need to get in with, because for how much fun we all had with the game growing up, it being on the go makes it a little bit more intense. And again, you can team up with friends and you can get in on time tournaments where it makes working together so much more fun because you build up each other's boards. The more you win together, the more awesome prizes you get to unlock. The unique stickers that you can trade with to complete albums get you big prizes. The cool new playing pieces you can use to travel around the boards make it much more intriguing. And the best emojis in the game to give your friends a hard time and taunt them are here for you with Monopoly Go. It's always going to feel new and exciting because they're constantly changing the tournaments and challenges. You can include the unique mini games. You can dig for treasures with robot pachinko machines and more. There's always something fun to discover in Monopoly Go. So go start your next big adventure. Download it for free today on Google Play, or you can also get it in the App Store. What you cannot always get is financial peace of mind. You can get that today because of Yahoo and their financing capabilities. If you don't know, you're about to know. If you want to grow any portfolio to deal with the rising costs of inflation, or if you want to pay your debt or your mortgage a little easier, pretty much anything that's standing in your way from financial freedom, you can help get right with Yahoo Finance. You can get access to news, data, and tools that you need in order to help you reach that financial freedom you've always yearned for. For more than 25 years, Yahoo Finance has been the brand behind every great investor. Whether you're a seasoned investor or you're looking for a little bit of an extra guidance, Yahoo Finance gives you all the tools and data you need all in one place. With a community of over 90 million users each month, the real strength is helping you on your way to financial success. For comprehensive financial news and analysis, visit the brand behind every great investor, yahoofinance.com. That's the number one financial destination for you at yahoofinance.com. Go there today to begin your financial journey. All right, so the Cowgirls' regular season title hopes fell just a little bit short. We have another crack at it. And ironically enough, we drew the 3 seed, which just means that's, a little bit more of an opportunity to be underestimated. Now, nationally, we're not underestimated, being number 2 in the country, right behind Texas. Texas, you know what? You won the Big 12 title. You're number 1 in the country. We beat you in. So this is going to be a real test of the medal situation. The 2 teams ranked ahead of us, Texas and OU, are 2 teams that we beat in series. So again, if the maddening disaster of Iowa State doesn't happen, we have a regular season championship, but we don't have that. So although we beat Texas 2 out of 3, we beat OU 2 out of 3, those are likely the 2 biggest obstacles to us claiming a Big 12 title. How crazy is it that the number 2 team in America isn't even the number 2 team in their own conference tournament? So the Big 12 is once again proving in so many sports that this is the conference to beat. I love this. I think us being a 3 seed will work out in our benefit here because it's a little bit of underestimating the capabilities. Does a 3 seed have an opportunity to win in anything? Yes. But they wouldn't be the 3 seed if they were expected to be the winner. Everyone expects this to be OU or Texas. Allow us to be the ones to crash the party and come home with a trophy. We've done it before when OU was better. This is going to be our chance to show everybody in the country that we are the best. Not only the best in the Big 12, but if you're the best in the Big 12, you're going to have an opportunity to be the best in America. I'm all for it. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for this Big 12 tournament to start. And I can't wait to see what the Cowgirls get done down the road as we prepare for the Women's World Series. Alrighty, guys. That's all we're going to have for this one right here. Go hit the like button, share, comment, most importantly, subscribe. All right. We do ticket giveaways, autograph, meet and greets, things of that nature. And we're gearing up for football season and all of that. So don't miss out on your opportunities. My podcasting, folks, the bread, the butter, the bricks, the mortar, the foundation, all of it. Do what you do. Leave a review. Hit the stars. You know the drill. God bless. Go Pokes. Thank you much. You could be anywhere. So happy you choose to be here. Later, my taters.